Welcome back, travellers. We are standing next to a random old man. I want you to talk to him if you've been trying to follow things and haven't been to Pewter City already should you be playing the game. If you are playing Gold version, he will give you the Silver Wing. If Silver, the Rainbow Wing. It's important if you want to catch the other version mascot. Anyway, we're making our way around to the gym and this is a fairly short encounter. Sunny's going to be taking the lead as we battle the one underling and then Brock. We will be heading down towards Viridian City. Now, we are very well prepared to deal with Brock's Pokemon. Camper Jerry has Sand Slash. Kind of odd because it's a ground type, not actually a rock type at all, as you know because I've been using Gibson. But some ground type Pokemon did appear in Brock's gym. I think in Generation 1, I think there was a Diglett one of the trainers had. I think there was only one underling. Anyway, a Diglett did appear and there was some confusion about whether it was rock or ground that was immune to electric moves. Because in Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon, a Kabutops shrugs off Pikachu's Thunderbolt despite the fact it should be weak to it. It's entirely possible that Kabutops was ridiculously powerful, but then again, it might just be a bit of a mistake as well. I mean, we did have all the rubbish about aim for the horn and things like that, and Pikachu affecting Onix after it had been soaked by sprinklers in the gym. Of course, in the battle against Brock. And it's pretty much a field day for Sunny. This is where the grass type will shine. We are relying on Solar Beam because I don't have the very useful Energy Ball for 2 more generations. If I need to, I'll simply heal myself by using Giga Drain. Either one of those will take care of Brock's Pokemon very easily. So, Omastar, worshipped by the internet. It probably had an easier time than Kabutops because water moves were fairly widely available and Omastar relies on its special attack quite well. However, it can't really use great rock type moves in later generations because there aren't very many special class rock type moves. On the other hand, there are some good physical water moves that Kabutops can make use of. And Onix, one of his signature Pokemon, which is not a threat, and we are going to use Giga Drain to top ourselves up. Very nice animation, the pinnacle of technology at the time. Restored a bit more HP than I thought, not too bad. And we're 1 level higher. Sunny's doing very well. And Rhyhorn. Interestingly, in the Generation 4 games, Brock's Rhyhorn has the Sturdy ability, which the line cannot learn under any circumstance. I mean, not learn, it cannot have under any circumstances. It wouldn't even be a hidden ability. Far as I know, anyway. It's worth noting, though, that you probably wouldn't find this out, owing to the fact that Sturdy only protected against one-hit KO moves in Generation 4, and let's be honest, you would have to be doing a real gimmick run to actually use one-hit KO moves. And now we have come to Brock's ace Pokemon, or at least what I'm considering his ace. Onix is the highest level, but it sucks. So here is the spotlight on Kabutops. Kabutops has always been my favourite of the fossil Pokemon, right from the beginning. I thought it had a much better design than Omastar, looking incredibly menacing and quite fierce. While it didn't always live up to that due to the lack of moves it had available to it, Kabutops nonetheless remained my favourite. When Generation 4 rolled around, Kabutops became a much better Pokemon with the advent of physical water moves, like Waterfall and Aqua Jet, finally allowing it to use its best stats to its advantage. In addition, better rock moves gave Kabutops even more of an advantage. It has great versatility and reasonable speed for a rock type to go with those good attack and defense stats. In fact, until Generation 5, Kabutops was actually the second fastest rock type Pokemon behind Aerodactyl, and it was really no shame coming in second to Aerodactyl because that was one of the fastest Pokemon period. Mind you, base 80 is not that high, but for a rock type it was actually quite fast and allowed Kabutops to dish out some pretty powerful blows when good moves were available to it. I really recommend using Kabutops. Things have only got better for it as the generations have gone on. While it takes a long time to evolve, it's nonetheless worth it and will give you a very powerful ally as a result. And all that said and done, let's finish it with Giga Drain. Didn't stand a chance, really. Very nicely done, Sonny. I think you've earned a bit of a rest. You have been working very hard. So there we are, 4 badges down. Yeah, in fairness, we kind of flattened him. So I'll switch Dash to the fore and give him the amulet coin. So our next badges require a bit more work. Sabrina's Pokemon are, if I remember, fairly high level, a bit higher level than most of the gym leaders here. We have a long way to go to get to Fuchsia City. Then we have to cross the sea to get to Cinnabar, and we have to have beaten the rest of them to challenge the Viridian Gym. But we are heading down to Viridian City. You can stop and catch Pikachu on the way. I will probably take a little bit of time out to try and catch it, because it's really the only opportunity you do get to use it in these games. It's kind of unfortunate that a lot of Pokemon turn up late. Anyway, that's where you can cut the bush after coming through Diglett's Cave, just like in the original games. Viridian Forest, on the other hand, follows a very similar structure, but it is incredibly scaled down. As you can see, the basic layout is the same, but it's much, much smaller, no grass for finding Pokemon, nothing basically. Apart from some hidden items. It's kind of sad because it was a nice area to go through. Nothing in there. One berry tree which gives us a poison cure berry. Okay, so that house you can see off to the side, the person in there will give you a nugget. Talk to him once you've come through Diglett's Cave. Do we have a hidden item here? No, we don't. But over here we have an item. A dire hit. Like Focus Energy, horrifically bugged in Generation 1, which I've probably gone on about a bit. No more hidden items. So, on the outskirts of Viridian City, we can battle a couple of bug catchers, and that patch of grass is where you can find Pikachu. So, bug catcher Doug has Ariados. I had intended to put the spotlight on Ariados. Perhaps I'll add one in. I'll tack it on at the end of the episode, because I really do like Ariados. And there we are, Dash has almost leveled up. We've got another opponent for him to take care of just down here. If your bug Pokemon are weaker than the gym leader I just fought, you don't have a chance. Even then, Dash has Rollout. Beedrill, so let's see what Dash's Rollout does to Beedrill. Probably won't KO it in one shot. But at this point I'm pretty much goofing around. Nope, one shot. Beedrill doesn't have very good physical defense. Nicely done. And Butterfree, which is going down. There we go. I will put Polari to the... Actually, I'll probably have to put Sunny to the 4 for finding Pokemon, because Pikachu generally appears at level 4. Its HP is just too low for it to survive a Sonic Boom from Polari. Anyway, let's take a little stop to try and find Pikachu. And here we are. I was interrupted on the way by Fisher Wilton. One of the problems I had during that recording session I lost was that I got a call from Bugcatcher Arnie and misread it. I thought he was calling me for a Yanma Swarm, which I hadn't actually caught in this incarnation of the file, but did wind up doing a spotlight for it back in episode 13, I think it was. We got the call after Dash ran over the top of Whitney. Anyway, I spent ages looking for one. Absolutely failed, but did at least get the Oddish I needed in order for me to get the Leaf Stone. Worth noting, if you're looking for Pokemon and you don't have Noctowl or Ariados, Gold version only, you can find them on this route. Now, the way my luck's gone with catching, in all those lost recordings, it was terrible. I don't think this is going to do pretty well. Nope, Pikachu has actually cooperated. Very kind of you, Pikachu. Finally, we have added Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon. This intelligent Pokemon roasts hard berries with electricity to make them tender enough to eat. So, with all the obstacles out of the way, let's head on down to Viridian City. There's the Viridian Gym. This building here is the trainer house. You can battle an opponent with whom you have performed Mystery Gift once a day. It will always be the last person with whom you performed Mystery Gift. They will have the team they had at the time. So for example, you could help a friend out by performing Mystery Gift while you had a team of 6 level 100 Blissies, which would be incredibly difficult, but once you've got one, the rest of them roll in. It would give them a lot of experience, for example. Anyway, that's the major attraction in Viridian City. The Pokemon are at level 50 by default, and the default trainer, Cal, uses Feraligatr, Typhlosion, and Meganium. If we head out this way, we will see the route to the Elite Four. This is Route 22, where we can catch some Pokemon. I don't think there are any new ones out here, and there's no one to encounter. Now, normally you need Cut for that guy, but we have Mersey. So, talk to him, and he will hand over the TM for Dream Eater, which I believe has been a TM in every generation, because for some unfathomable reason, Drowsy and Hypno cannot actually learn it naturally. Anyway, we can top up our team, but we're still pretty good to go. So we're going to wind up things for today by heading down onto Route 1. We're going back to where it all began. So we'll take that from Dash, and I'll put Mersey at the front. If you come here during the day, you can find Wild Furret. But we don't have too much to worry about right now. Just a couple of trainers. And of course plenty of long grass wherein hide fairly weak Pokemon. And to be honest, as soon as you see a trainer you just go in and battle, it seems a bit silly. It seems very impolite. A lot of people have questioned it, but there you go, we've got to roll with it. We have Jinx, which Mersey should be able to dispatch with Body Slam on account of the fact Jinx's defense is terrible. So, easily dealt with. Magmar is probably the last one because these did form a trio. And we will go with Surf. Probably because of all the controversies, Jinx has been left behind somewhat. And there we go. Magmar only appeared in blue version in the Cinnabar Mansion in the original games. Electabuzz only appeared in red in the Power Plant. They were both fairly solid Pokemon, but their evolutions can change the way they play. And we've dispatched them pretty easily. So, one more opponent to go in this area. Bit sparse really, but then again, 2 trainers compared to none. Still a pretty good deal. So, let's get to battling. Our opponent has Ivysaur, which we can dispatch with Ice Beam. At least that one's a bit stronger. I think the Cool Trainers and or Ace Trainers in various games have Pokemon of higher levels than you'd normally expect. And Starmie, which thanks to Polari we got past fairly easily in Misty's gym. Still a fair bit faster than Mersey. And Speedfell, that doesn't help one bit. But Confusion, and can we add Paralysis into the bargain? Alright, tit for tat. And I will hurt myself. Nope. Pretty solid blow. Okay, and Mersey actually snapped out. Quite a nice surprise. Usually it's going to be the other way round. Oh, just short. And there we go. We can head on down and get into Pallet Town, where it all began. There's Red's house. That, of course, is Blue's house. I believe you can talk to his sister Daisy between 3 and 4 to give your Pokemon a massage, working on a similar principle to the haircuts. And this is what I want to show you, Professor Oak's laboratory, so let's go in and say hi to him.
Ah, Wedge! It's good of you to come all this way to Kanto. What do you think of the trainers out here? Pretty tough, huh? Actually, I'm contractually obliged to say that. I know they suck. Quite frankly, they're a fair bit weaker than the ones at the end of Johto and the Elite Four, so they're probably not a challenge for someone like you. Ah, you're collecting Kanto gym badges. Very impressive. I imagine that it's hard. Again, probably not that hard. But the experience is sure to help you. They do at least give good experience for your Pokemon, I'll give them that. Come see me when you get them all, though. I'll have a gift for you. Keep trying hard, Wedge. And how's your Pokedex coming along? Let's see. Current Pokedex completion level, 198 Pokemon seen, 117 Pokemon owned. Professor Oak's rating. Some Pokemon only appear during certain times of the day, which I'm sure you probably know. You're not stupid, Wedge. If you're in the area, I hope you come visit again.
There we are. Not a bad little session, so we're all the way down here in Pallet Town with a patch of grass. That will yield Tangela, and I think you can catch Mr. Mime, so let's see what we've got down here, actually. If I find anything interesting, I'll cut to it and we can wrap on it. For the record, Tangela can be caught here. This was where you caught Tangela in the original games. I probably should have knocked it out. So, anyway, I'll see if there's anything interesting, and then we can wrap up the episode with a spotlight on Ariados. Okay, we did run into a Mr. Mime. I believe Mr. Mime can be found here in these games as a bit of a reference to Mr. Mime helping out Ash's mother in the anime. That is just a guess, but either way, an overweight clown really isn't going to be helping us that much. It obviously has a much skinnier appearance in later games, or at least comparatively skinnier anyway. It did look fairly blocky in the original games, but as you can see, it's putting up the barriers to help it out. It did have a pretty good special stat in the original games. Oh, what, I can run? Alright, let's get Sunny onto the job. Alright, take 2. Let's put this one to sleep and we'll go from there. So, sleep powder. And it's gonna slap me. Mimes are generally seen as acceptable targets, though... Wait, seriously? Perils of using any move that doesn't have 100 base accuracy. But I think after Detective Pikachu, Mr. Mime can be seen in a better light. It's genuinely funny. Okay. We'll chip away at it a bit. Its high special should help me out there. Right, I don't think it can flee because it's asleep, so we will try and catch it now. It'll be a good note to end the episode on. And another easy catch. Much better than the last session, I'll tell you that much. So, Mr. Mime, the barrier Pokemon. A skilled Mime from birth, it gains the ability to create invisible objects as it matures. Mr. Mime's name in the Japanese version is the gender-neutral Barriered. The translators even mentioned that giving it a gendered name would cause them trouble if they decided to add genders in later games, because of course you've got the problem of female Mr. Mime, and what are we running into? Probably a tentacle. Yep, haven't even found anything interesting like a shiny Pokemon. Oh well. So, we have made landfall and we're good to go. I will be navigating back to Viridian City, where we will heal the team. Thank you very much for joining me on this little nighttime excursion, and what are we going to run into? Just a Rattata. But that's Route 1 for you. Anyway, I am going to put Ariados' spotlight on the end of this, so we can have a look at one of my favourite Pokemon, as well as getting the spotlight on Kabutops earlier. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next installment of our scenic tour through the Kanto region. I will probably meet you back in Celadon City, because we will be going the long way round. Poor old Ariados suffers from being an early game bug. It does actually have a pretty decent attack stat and okay HP, but that's where everything drops off. It is very slow and its defensive stats aren't that great, so it really won't get to use that decent attack very often. It has got better moves available to it as the generations have gone on, but there is a bit of a problem for some of its moves, namely the fact that quite a few of them are special moves, and Ariados' special attack isn't very good. That said, when all is said and done, I really do like Spinarak and Ariados. They have very distinct and colourful designs, making them much less threatening than you'd expect a spider to be. While they are pretty decent in battle, they actually look like they could be your friend. It really is a shame that they do suffer from all the problems associated with early game bug types, and that pretty poor special attack, because they do have some nice moves they could utilise if their special attack was better. Unfortunately, unlike Beedrill, they didn't get a Mega Evolution treatment, but a couple of minor buffs have come their way. Hopefully there'll be a little bit more for them, because I do really like these.